Us now on This Is the Day is Eric Clayton, who is the author of My Life with the Jedi, The Spirituality of Star Wars. With May 4th coming up, we thought, what better guest to get than Eric? Thank you so much for being with us, Eric.
Thanks for the opportunity. I'm excited. And yeah, May the 4th, it's right upon us here. So I hope the Force is strong with all of us.
Well, first, tell us how your love for Star Wars all began.
Well, you know what? My dad, put the VHS in the VCR, right, all those years ago, the special editions, and I was the right age, probably about second, third grade, and I just loved it. And then, as luck would happen, that was when the Phantom Menace, if the episode 1 premiered shortly thereafter. 25 years actually this year, and so I was just the right age for all these things. What's cooler than swinging a lightsaber and then waving your hand at the supermarket doors? And it's just grown. And now I have kids of my own, and we're playing Star Wars Legos. We're watching the Star Wars cartoons. So it's just a lot of fun. It's just been a real full circle adventure.
And now you've taken the jump into the Ignatian Spirituality, and talk about that. Talk about the how the connection between Ignatian Spirituality and Star Wars plays out.
Yeah, of course. So I went to a Jesuit school. I now work at the Jesuit conference. So Ignatian Spirituality is really my way I encounter God. And key to Ignatian Spirituality, right, is that God is present in all things, in all of us, always just speaking to us. And there's that great scene, right, in Star Wars. What's the Force? The Force it's in all things. This energy field that binds us together. And of course, God is not the Force. God, desires good things for us. The Force is kind of just there. But this idea that the world is pulsing with spirituality, it's true in Star Wars, and it's true in our lives too. And Ignatian Spirituality is all about discerning between two forces, right? Forces of good, forces of darkness. And that's exactly what happens throughout all of the Star Wars movies. How are our characters making good choices that bring them towards the light, bring them towards the dark? Of course, we don't show up as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. We're kind of always somewhere in between, and that's what my book is about. How do we discern these little ordinary moments to find God at work in the everyday?
It sounds like it's a book for everyone, not just Star Wars, but there's some elements in there. Those who might know Ignatian Spirituality as well, and Star Wars. That's like the big bonanza there, but it can be read by anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a couple folks in mind, right, when I'm writing this book. I want folks that are, looking for new ways to articulate their own faith life, their own spiritual journey. I hope that this book gives them that. I think pop culture and the stories, the modern myth, right, of our time can be stories through which we encounter God. Again, God is present in all things. Star Wars for me is just the most obvious example, but so many stories, things we watch on TV, we go to the movies, things we read, God is there. And I hope that this book kind of gives folks a chance to think about, I now I see where God is in Ted Lasso or God is in The Bear or whatever you're watching right now,
And talking about, you mentioned too how contemplative prayer actually can enter into the Star Wars stories through that, and how does that all work?
Yeah, so in the book, I use the Examen, the Ignatian prayer. Ignatius invites everybody, to once, twice a day to pray the Examen, which is just an opportunity to go through the nitty gritty, mundane, ordinary events of each day in the presence of God's Spirit. Asking God, where were you here, and then to be grateful. It's not just a checklist of the day; it's a disposition of gratitude. So at the end of each chapter of this book, I invite folks to do that, to be contemplative as they walk through their day, but with a little Star Wars riff, So I have a chapter on the dark side cave, and we all experience dark side caves in our own lives, right? But there in that kind of meditation at the end is an invitation to kind of go into our own dark side caves with God and with God's Spirit and to find what are we being asked to reflect more deeply upon and where might we be missing something key in our own spiritual lives.
Is there any particular character in the Star Wars franchise that you feel is more connected, I guess, spiritually and can help people sort of on their way back into Ignatian spirituality or perhaps closer to God?
Oh man, that's a great question. I mean, I think there's obvious answers. Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn are full of good insight, but there's a scene in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series that always jumps out at me. And if folks have seen it, it's at the kind of the end of the series. You know, Obi-Wan is going to fight Darth Vader once more. Darth Vader has kind of wiped the floor with him. Our hero is kind of looking like he's lost. He stumbles up. You know, he's not going to give up quite yet. He shows a little bit more fight than Vader realizes. And the line that Vader delivers is, I see your strength has returned, but your weakness remains. And then Obi-Wan hears that line, and from that line goes on to, you know, defeat Vader and you know, continue doing Jedi things. But that line to me is so key. So it's delivered by the villain, right? But this idea that even in our weakness, you know, even because we're all wounded, right? We all have these things, but God is still calling us forward, right? God is still calling us deeper into relationship, and our story isn't over yet. And that's the crux of Ignatian spirituality: deeper and deeper relationship, friendship with God, you know, every day through our own stuff, whatever it might be.
That's great. It's a great book and a great way to look at Star Wars too. Where can people find the book, Eric? Where can they get it?
So the book is available wherever you get your books, you know, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your local bookstore. You also can go to my website, ericclaytonwrites.com, and find all the information you need there on that book and all my other writing projects.
And I can remember going to the drive-in theater, Eric, when I was a kid watching the first Star Wars. So that's how far I go back. There was a lot of them back when I was a kid.
You know, I'll say one of the things, the cool thing about this book is hearing so many people's different stories of when they first saw Star Wars or their first experience. And I think that's awesome because it's such it's like a common experience we all share. And so the more we can kind of, you know, we can see in each other these common moments, these shared loves and passions, I think the more we can, you know, we build up that greater community.
It's great. Well, thank you so much, Eric, for being with us. Great talking to you. EricClaytonWrites.com is the place to go. Thank you so much, Eric, for being with us, and may the 4th be with you.